Did you know that my Scarlet Violet TCG set tier list is one of my worst rated videos on this channel? And to be fair, it is completely warranted. If you look at the tier list, I had 4 sets in Would Rather Open a Bin, and that was completely wrong. So because Black and White is officially past now and Scarlet and Violet's now over with Mega Evolutions coming, we're going to go back to that tier list and update it. So I just want to also make it clear, what am I looking after? I'm going to be looking at artwork. That's pretty much the main focus. Whatever set, in my opinion, has the best artwork. And to be fair, artwork is so subjective. Certain people think a banana taped on the wall is art.
Nope.
I think that's stupid. So just because I like it doesn't mean you will like it. However, I'll do my best to explain to you why I put it in that particular position. And rather than going in set order, this time we're going to go through it in worst to best. Last time I had 4 sets in Would Rather Open a Bin. This time I've only got 1 because I'm using my brain. And to be fair, people might disagree. I know everyone's going to disagree, but let me know in the comments if you disagree. But I generally think the worst set in Scarlet and Violet is Stellar Crown. Now you might be saying, but this has Squirtle. It's got the Bulbasaur in it. Who cares? I'm tired of Kanto. Kanto is just overused. If you take out the Squirtle and the Bulbasaur, what card do you want to pull from that set? Oh wait. There's literally no other card. Do not tell me you want the Terapagos. That Terapagos card is basic as hell. So therefore, the only set that I would literally rather open a bin, and if I see it on the shop floor, I will literally tell people, walk the other direction, is Stellar Crown. And if you disagree with that, let me know in the comments, but I generally believe Stellar Crown is Would Rather Open a Bin, and that's the only set that is Would Rather Open a Bin. Now that we're done with Would Rather Open a Bin, it's time to move up to If It's the Last Pack on the Shelf. This set, most people would probably put it Would Rather Open a Bin, but when I actually went back through the set, I realized there are actually some pretty cool cards in this set, and that set is Shrouded Fable. I know Shrouded Fable is like one of the most hated sets in Scarlet and Violet, and I also hated on it. I'm the one who put it in Would Rather Open a Bin. But the truth is, the whole Dusko line I actually really like. I think the artwork in that is so much better than anything else that comes in Stellar Crown. So that's one of the reasons why. But the other reason why as well, I think people hated it is because it's got all those stupid monkeys and gorilla guy in it and that bird. Like, truthfully, they're probably one of the worst designed Pokemons of all time. However, if you ignore them, it's still got the Houndoom, which I think the Houndoom looks pretty cool. It's got Cresselia as well, and my favorite with everyone else as well is the Persian. Like, there are some pretty cool cards in that set, but nothing like Stellar Crown, which has literally nothing. The next set that I would put in Would Rather Open a Bin, it's gonna be Obsidian Flames. I put it there last time, and I'm gonna keep it there. Main reason is it does have a chase card. At least this set has one particular chase card, which is the Charizard. But the truth is, that card's not enough. This got the Ninetales and the Cleffa, which I think is really good. And I was debating, maybe I should push it to decent. But the truth is, I don't think it's worth it. Like, those cards are great. But if I'm going to buy it, I'd rather just buy the cards itself because they're so cheap than go out of my way and open a pack for that set. The Charizard's good, but it's not even the best Charizard or even probably the best top 3 Charizards in the Scarlet and Violet era. I think there are much better cards that are Charizards in the Scarlet and Violet era. So that's why I'm going to keep it at Would Rather Open a Bin. So the next set that I'm going to keep in Would Rather Open a Bin as well, it wasn't in my last tier list, even though it was on the screen, is actually Journey Together. Now, wait, I know people might be like, oh, Journey Together? It was a great set. It had partner Pokemon. Do you know how I know that people didn't really like Journey Together? It's because no one was buying it from the scalpers. When it came out, there was so much still shop on the shop floor. No one even wanted to purchase it. And the truth of the matter is, there's a reason why. There's not many great cards. Like Lily's Clefairy, cool. I don't care. And Zoroark, I feel like that card could have looked so much better. And the Zoroark that came in black and white, in black bolt and white flare, was so much better as well. There was really nothing there. The Salamence card was pretty cool. The Zacian card was alright as well. I just feel like there weren't many good cards, and I feel like this set was very overhyped because trainer Pokemon were coming back, and maybe it was the scalpers trying to say, hey, this set is great. But the truth is, the collectors really didn't like this set, in my opinion. Again, tell me if I'm wrong, but I think this deserves to be, I would only buy it if it's the last pack on the shelf. Now, the final set that I'm going to put in if it's the last pack on the shelf might actually surprise you, and it kind of surprised me when I looked at it because it wasn't here last time, but it's been demoted by me now. It's actually Twilight Masquerade. Okay, now again, Greninja fans, relax, calm down, in through your nose, out through your mouth. The reason why I'm putting this in here is because that Greninja card is very expensive, but truly, is that card really cool in terms of artwork? Like artwork alone. The promo card that Greninja comes with, I forgot what set it is, but I'll put it on the screen now. That promo card is a much better card in terms of artwork than the Greninja. Plus, I don't like trainer cards. If you guys know me, I'm very adamant against trainer cards and full art cards. I think they're pointless because I'm a Pokemon collector, not a trainer collector. So Carmine and whoever the other woman is, their artwork looks good, but I do not like it. That's not something that I would want to pack because there's no place for it in my binder. If you know, I'm doing a national dex and there are no trainers in my national dex. So I think it's pretty pointless. But there are some other cards, like for me, Infernape is my favorite Pokemon of all time. That artwork is cool, but I purchased it as a 10 because there was no point in me trying to pack it. So there are some good cards, but truthfully, I think it's slightly overrated because of that Greninja. But that's why I put it at the highest if it's the last pack on the shelf, or maybe you could put it at a low decent. But I think that's fair. Now moving on to the decent category. Now this is the biggest thing that I really don't know, and this is where it probably gets pretty controversial. There are two sets in here that would rather open a bin, but now really thinking about it, they actually didn't deserve to be there. And the first set at the lowest of a decent is actually Temporal Forces. Now, I think the main reason why I put it out would rather open a bin before was because there's a lot of Pokemon in that set that I don't care for, and I don't think many people really cared for as well. But I'm trying to take it out that no one cares about the future Pokemon or the past. Actually, I like the past Pokemon, but no one really cares about the future. But if you take that out of your head and you look at the card artwork, the Iron Crown is probably one of the most beautiful cards in Scarlet and Violet. And that's me saying I hate future Pokemon. But with the moon in the background, with the pink tree, I think it just looks really good. Of course, that's not the only card. You've got the Raging Bolt there. You've got the Ghastly. You've got Morty's Gengar, which technically is a trainer card, but it's pretty much might be a Pokemon card as well because of how cool it looks. Like, there actually are really good artworks within this set. And even the chase card of it being Raging Bolt, I can understand it because it actually does look really cool. Yeah, Raging Bolt is literally just a Raikou with a long neck and a frisbee around its neck, but it's actually a really cool card, and it's better than most of the chase cards in the sets below. In my opinion, I think artwork wise, that card is much better than the Greninja. So I think it's fair to just put it at decent. Most people would probably put it lower, but I think in terms of artwork, it's actually a pretty good set, and it's very attainable. You can get Temporal Forces, which might say that people don't like the set, but that's true. But again, for artwork wise, I think it's a pretty good set. Now the next set, in my opinion, this set and Temporal Forces are like brother and sister. They're very similar. But the reason why I put it slightly higher is because, well, firstly, it's Paradox Rift. But the reason why I put it slightly higher is because the artworks are pretty cool. The chase card in this set is Groudon, which I think is better than Raging Bolt. And that's one of the main reasons why I put it above Temporal Forces, is because if I pick between both sets and I'm like, which card do I want from both sets? The Groudon will be number one. Not only because it's the most expensive, but I think it generally looks the best. Plus, it's got the Altaria. I think the Altaria card looks really cool as well. So this set has better cards, in my opinion, and the better chase card as well. And like I said, with Temporal Forces, you can get it on shop floors. Even with Paradox Rift, it's very easy to get these cards still at retail price, which is a good thing for us collectors, because I really wish that I do get that Groudon. So now let's just take a pause for a minute. If you didn't know, I'm trying to reach 1,000 subscribers before the end of this year, and if I do, I'm going to do one of my largest ever pack openings and live stream it, because I've been saving up Pokemon packs, and my goal is to get 1,000 subscribers. So if you really like this video and you really like me being standing up more and talking and walking, hit subscribe and hit the like button so I can do more videos like this. Now this set actually is two sets, so that should give it away. It's the last set of Scarlet and Violet. It's Black Bolt and White Flare. I count them as the same, but if you want to be really specific, I'll put Black Bolt ahead of White Flare because of the Zekrom card. But truly, people loved the Zekrom, the Victini, and the Reshiram cards, the black, white, and the red one. I think they're cool, but are they really that cool? Again, for artwork wise, I don't like them. My best card from that set is the Zekrom Special Illustration Rare, and that's the reason why it's that far up, because out of every set below, that's the card that I would love to pull more than any other card. So with that being said, I do think Black Bolt and White Flare is slightly overrated. I love Gen 5. I'm not a Gen 5 hater, but every Pokemon did get an illustration rare, but I went through a lot of them. they're really basic. I don't feel like they tried. Maybe because there were so many cards, they couldn't really give focus to many. They're all right. I think the Hydreigon card looks really good as well. Hydreigon always looks great. I feel like they give it really good cards all the time. But apart from that, there ain't really much in that set that I'm like, yeah, I really want it. So that's why I put it at high decent. But unfortunately for you guys, that's not the last card on decent, the last set on decent. There's still one more set that I've put in decent, and this is where you might click off, and this is where you might actually get really angry and annoyed. So I do apologize, but I did make it clear earlier, I'm not the biggest fan of Kanto in the sense of how overrated it sometimes gets. And that's why I've put 151 at high decent. So now, wait. All you Kanto lovers, again, calm down, breathe. Kanto is not the only region. Yes, you might not like Pokemon, you might be a part-timer, so you only know your Charizards, and that's it. But I genuinely believe 151, well, compared to last video, it's got demoted. Last time it wasn't amazing. But again, in terms of artwork, the best, most expensive card in 151 is actually the Charizard, which in my opinion is the worst looking card out of the starters. I don't know why people like that Charizard. Maybe because it's just Charizard, but truly, there are so many better Charizard cards out there. And the fact that there's a Charizard with it flying, it's just something about that Charizard I just do not like. So I never liked the Chase card. The other starters are cool. I think the Squirtle card might be my favorite from all the starters. But my Chase card for me, the one that I really want to get is the Zapdos. I think the Zapdos looks the coolest with all the other birds in the background with it in the sky. I think that looks the best, but I do think 151 is very overrated, but I still put it at high decent. People might put it at an amazing, but I think high decent is fair because the artworks aren't all that. It's okay. I genuinely believe the Squirtle line and the Bulbasaur line, artwork-wise, all three of them look much better than the Charizard did. The Charizard's the most expensive because it's Charizard. But truly, I think 151 high decent is fair. So that kind of gives it away that who's going to be potentially in GOAT and who's going to now be an amazing, because we've only got 6 sets left, and I haven't said 2, which are the first 2 sets in Scarlet and Violet, and now that might make people think he might have skipped it. No, people might not agree with this, and my first set in amazing tier is actually base set Scarlet and Violet. Now, I know that's a crazy take saying that set is better than 151, but hear me out. In my opinion, Scarlet and Violet base is the most underrated set of all time. When you look at how much it still goes for and how expensive certain cards are, the Chase card is only £30. The fact that you can get a PSA 10 Gardevoir from that base set, which came out 2-3 years ago, for £100 or less than £100, I can't fathom that. It is the beginning of the set, and most of the time, the first set never tends to do well. Thinking about Sword and Shield, like that set was horrendous. There's literally nothing to pull from that. But this set, the whole Rotz line, all 3 of them, I would rather have all 3 of those cards than any other set. Any top 3 cards from the sets below. And people might think that's a crazy take. Like, you've got the Groudon, you've got the Raging Bull. I've said that Iron Crown is one of my best artworks. Like, when we talk about artwork, the Rotz, the Curlier, and the Gardevoir, all 3 of them, I would rather have those 3 cards than any other set below. And luckily, I do own all 3. Not all of them in a 10, in an 8, 9, and a 10, which is crazy, I know, but I wish I had them all in a 10, but I don't. But I've always made it clear, Scarlet and Violet has the Slowpoke, which I think is amazing. The Armarouge, which I think is so underrated and literally one of the top 5 cards in the Scarlet and Violet era. The Drowsy. The Drowsy used to be so expensive. Now I think you can get it for around £20, which again is ridiculously underpriced. It's a Kanto Gen 1 Pokemon. People like Gen 1, but it's such a unique card. I love it so much. So I generally think it's the perfect introduction to the Scarlet and Violet era, and that's why I put it at low amazing. Before I put it at decent, because I was kind of scared to put it at amazing the first time that I did it. I've always felt this way, but I was too scared to put it in amazing because people might think I'm stupid, but this is my opinion, and I think Scarlet and Violet is a low tier amazing. Now the next set is, it was really hard to get this set before, but now I was able to get a lot of it from Smith's. It's a set that I purchased a lot of, and the pull rates are horrendous, but I will not let it defer my opinion when it comes to the artwork. And that set is Surging Sparks. That some people might think is pretty low, and the fact that there are certain sets that I put above it. Again, I'll explain it in detail why. The Pikachu card I think is really cool, but for me it's not the best card in the set in terms of artwork. I think the Latios card is much better, the Latios card is much better, the Milotic card, and even maybe the Mesprit card. I think those cards in terms of artwork look so much better, and that's why I put it this high up, because I generally think that Milotic card, again, is probably one of my top cards that I would want to get. Probably above the Gardevoir, definitely above the Iron Crown and the Raging Bolt and even the Groudon. I think that Milotic card is so beautiful. Milotic already is a beautiful Pokemon, and the fact that it's only £70, which I think is pretty reasonable, is a great start. And I really think Surging Sparks is really good when it comes to a lot of different types of artworks. But the other set that I was really conflicted with, who should I put above it, is Paldea Evolved. So Paldea Evolved is next, and that's a crazy take, right? Because Paldea Evolved, I think, was, if it was the last pack on the shelf, then I would purchase it. But looking at the artworks and the different Pokemons within that set, I don't know why I made that take. Firstly, it's got one of the best chase cards of all time in terms of the Magikarp. That card is not even a special illustration rare, it's just an illustration rare, yet it's one of the most beautiful cards ever created. I love that Magikarp card, but forget the Magikarp. Just forget the Magikarp. So if the Magikarp didn't exist, I would still have it pretty high up because of cards like Chi-Yu, the Marill, but the entire Tinkerton line and the entire Baxcalibur line. Those cards and those artworks with the colors, how vibrant it is, are just alone enough to put it that high up. But then you've also got the starters. You've got the Fuecoco, you've got the Sprigatito, their entire lines as well, and how they just keep showing evolutions of it living in its environment. It's perfect. I hate Quaquaval, but Fuecoco and Sprigatito I generally love. Even Mousehold is such an amazing card. This set generally, I don't know what I was thinking when I first did it, but there are so many. Like, this set could be even higher, but the sets that come after this, I think, slightly take it. Potentially the one after this set, you could probably switch it around because there are some biases with the next set. But I generally think that this set is so underrated, and there was a reason why I could never find this set on the shop floor. But when I went into B&M in the UK, luckily they had it, and I literally purchased as much as I could because I barely opened this set because of the notion that there's no good cards in this set. Yet this set has so many great cards, so that's why I've put it this high up in the amazing tier. So now we're up to the top three. So we've got Paldean Fates, Destined Rivals, and Prismatic Evolution. I think this being a top three fight, it's fair. People might put 151 in, but I think this is a fair top three. So in GOAT, there can only ever be one GOAT. So between the three, only one will be in GOAT, and the other two would be in amazing. So in third place, this set is a set that I put in GOAT last time, but truly I don't think it deserves that space anymore because of these two sets. And that's Prismatic Evolution. Now, Prismatic Evolution got really hyped, and you can still not find it on the shop floor because of all the evolutions. Eevee is one of the most popular Pokemon of all time, and that Umbreon card Raw still goes for around £700, which is ridiculous. But the pull rates were really difficult for most people. However, for me, it wasn't. I opened 2 ETBs and got 2 evolutions, the Leafeon and the Jolteon, which is crazy pack luck, and I haven't touched that set since because I was like, there's no way I'm ever going to do better. So let's not waste that time. But the only reason why I've actually still put it this high up is because in terms of artwork, I actually like some of the evolutions. I think the Sylveon, the Leafeon, the Umbreon look really cool. But I thought, let's take away all the evolutions. Is this set really that good still? And the answer is yes, because the cards below the evolutions are amazing. The Raging Bolt looks amazing. The Roaring Moon, the Ceruledge, the Goldengo is even really that good. The Bloodmoon Ursaluna, and it did introduce Pokeball and Master Ball cards for the English for the first time. I generally don't like those Pokeball and Master Ball cards because you cannot see them at all. I think the print quality was really bad. But in terms of the Pokemon, this set has so many great Pokemon. Like, forget the evolution, look at the cards below it. They're so expensive still, even though the fact that it's been out for so long, but because the pull rate's so bad, literally the Roaring Moon's still going over £100. But I generally think Prismatic Evolution, yes, it might be overhyped. Yes, people can argue that the artworks are just terrestrial cards, and terrestrial cards, no one really likes them. But I generally think it's worth it. I generally think the fact that this set, if you still got it in your hand, hold it, because it's going to go through the moon. It's going to end up being one of the most expensive sets of all time, and that's why it takes third spot. So now we're down to the final two, and it's Destined Rivals with Paldea Evolved. And I actually, when Destined Rivals first got announced, and I saw it in Japanese first, so that would have been the Glory of Team Rocket and Heatwave Arena, I thought Heatwave Arena was a great set, and I didn't like the Return of Team Rocket or the Glory of Team Rocket, whichever one it is. But the truth is, in English, when I look at all the artworks, the top 10 cards or the top 6, top 7 cards, they are all bangers. None of them are bad. From the Mewtwo to the Moltres to the Ho-Ho to the Garchomp, even the Nidoking and the Crobat, all bangers. Absolute 10 out of 10, well, maybe not 10 out of 10, but pretty much 8 to 9 out of 10 cards. And there's so many good cards you can potentially get from that set. And the hit rate was really good. I opened one and I got that Nidoking and I was gassed. And that Nidoking is still around 80, 90 pounds, which is ridiculous. That who would have thought a Nidoking would be that expensive? But there are so many great cards to pull from this set. It was so close between that and Paldea Fates. But I think number one being Paldea Fates. I don't think it's me who's the only person that says Paldea Fates is the best set in Scarlet and Violet. I think it's a lot of people that would agree. And the main reason why is, I just said that Destined Rivals had like 7 great chase cards. And that is true. And Paldea Evolved have only 3, which is the Charizard, the Mew, and the Gardevoir. But that is because those cards, I think, are like the gold standard. People would say that they'd rather have the Mew and the Charizard. That's fair. In my opinion, the best and the most beautiful card in the Scarlet and Violet era is the Gardevoir. That Gardevoir card, the colors, shiny Gardevoir, is so beautiful. The Mew itself, which is the most expensive card in that set, is so beautiful, and I love the Charizard. Normally I don't like Charizard because it's so overused, but that Charizard is much better than Obsidian Flames. So if you want to open a pack that has Charizard, do not open 151, do not open Obsidian Flames, open Paldea Fates. If you can get it, it's literally not possible to get anymore. And it wasn't always like this. I feel like it took time for people to understand that Paldea Fates is probably one of the best sets ever created by Pokemon. It took so long because in the beginning, it was still so much. It was so easy to get. And I regret not being really heavily in Pokemon at that time because I feel like I missed out. I did purchase it. I did get some cards. And I love Baby Shinies as well. Baby Shinies being there as well is amazing. But even the Mew, the full art card, the Shiny Mew full art, I don't like full art. But that Mew is an amazing card as well. So that's why I generally think Paldea Evolved, because I love shiny Pokemon and I love baby shiny cards, and it has the best card in my opinion out of looks from all the Scarlet and Violet sets. I think Paldea Fates deserves to be in gold. And if you disagree, let me know in the comments. I know a lot of you will disagree, but I hope that there'll be less dislikes on this video, because I think the tier list is much more fair, is much more thought through. I did spend time going through it, and I've tried to focus as much as I could on art, not pull rates, not prices. But if you like this type of video, please subscribe, and I'll see you next time.